Zacks Screen of the Week, an overview of a timely stock screening strategy aimed at helping you produce more profitable investing results. Screening for first profits. That's what we're talking about with Kevin Matras, head of our Research Wizard division, top stock screener at Zacks.com. And by first profits, we mean companies that are actually turning their first profit.
There we go.
Right?
Yeah, you know, I thought this would be a good topic to talk about with first quarter earnings getting into full swing.
Yep.
And with that happening, I've been running screens with this concept. Again, finding companies that have just recently shown their first quarterly profit. Now, the idea is to find companies that have not shown a profit in the previous 4 quarters, or at least the previous 4 quarters, but have just now finally shown a profit in the most recently reported quarter. And these are the kinds of things that we're going to be focusing on today.
So why is finding these companies important?
Well, first let me say that you know, for some of these companies will be relatively new, and this will be their first profit that they've ever seen in the company's history. For other companies, they may have a long history of profitability, but you know, during the recession over the last year, they may have fallen into some difficult times.
Yep.
And they have finally been able to return to profitability. The reason why I like this concept, though, is because if the company is finally showing a trend of improvement, and again, losing less money, finally getting profitable, that indeed is a trend of improvement. And the concept is that if you are showing a trend of improvement, you should continue to see this trend, you know, develop. So that is true whether or not you're finally first getting profitable, or whether you have been profitable for a while. The reason why that I'm concentrating on this, though, is because for some people, especially like myself, they dislike buying companies that just cannot show a profit. And there are many guys who won't even consider looking at a company that cannot show a profit. So, you know, that's why I think looking at these companies that have been able to overcome this Herculean effort, finally showing their first profit, is such an interesting concept.
Well, yeah, it stands to reason. I mean, you can understand, even if a company is getting better, if they are not able to turn that profit,
right,
as from an investor's perspective, it makes it, you know, a hard sell, hard to buy.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you look at the definition of growth, I mean, if you are sequentially able to just get less unprofitable,
right,
by definition, that is growth. You're losing less and less money quarter after quarter after quarter. But again, there is something entirely different between losing less money and actually showing growth in absolute terms. And what's interesting is, I think these will be the stocks that will probably enjoy, you know, the most new investor demand, because you're going to finally attract investors that, you know, may not have given that stock the time of day in the past, finally now start to stand up and take notice. And that is why I think that these companies will enjoy a lot of demand, if you will, buying demand from new investors.
All right, set this baby up for us.
Yeah, the screen starts off by looking for companies where the EPS for the previous 4 quarters was less than or equals to 0. This means that in each of the previous 4 quarters, except the most recently reported quarter, these companies have not been able to turn a profit. Then we're adding in an item where it says the EPS for the most recently reported quarter is greater than 0, which means this time the company finally has shown a profit. And this stuff is all being added to companies that are trading greater than or equals to $5. Now, I just personally like buying companies that are trading over $5, in large part because a lot of large institutions won't even consider a company if it's under $5. So I do want to have that on their radar screens. But again, if you're looking for companies, if you're not worried about that $5 threshold, if you were to remove that threshold, you'll probably come up with maybe twice as many stocks on that list, and that's what I found when I ran that screen this week.
Stocks that came through?
There was, I think there was like 45 stocks that came through the way we described it. Here's 5 of them. AMD, AXL, American Axle and Manufacturing, Harman International, Modine Manufacturing, and Photronics. So again, all of these companies look good fundamentally. Technically, they look good. And again, I believe that these deserve a place on people's radar screens since they finally have just now gotten profitable. And a lot of these companies are due to report within the next couple of days to the next few weeks.
All right. Do you own any?
Actually, on this list, I have 3 of them: AXL, Harman, and Modine.
All right. And we're recording this this on the 27th of April, so that time reference that Kevin made, you can kind of plan out on your calendar. And if you want to see a text version of this particular screen of the week, go to Zacks.com's homepage and click on the headline right next to Kevin's picture. If you want to know more about the Research Wizard, the tool that Kevin uses to achieve these screens, go to Zacks.com/Research Wizard for more information. With Kevin Matras and the Screen of the Week, I'm Terry Ruffalo.